While we are trying to explain the Kasala that burst between AIMA VFS and the Portuguese embassy in 2026, we are going to be taking you on a road trip. We are driving all the way from Lagos, Nigeria, through the famous Mile 12 International Market, onto the longest bridge in Africa until 1996, our very own Third Mainland Bridge. And then straight across the ocean to the astonishing April 25th bridge here in Portugal. So grab some popcorn and let's enjoy the ride. If you have opened your phone at any point over the last few weeks and looked at West African expert forums or checked into student WhatsApp group, you would have probably seen the exact same headlines repeated like a wildfire. Portugal has officially closed student visa for Nigerians. The embassy has banned student slots. Don't bother applying, no, the pathway is dead. These headlines instantly bring an absolute wave of panic, heartbreak, and pure confusion. Hundreds of young people and families have spent months trying to apply through this route, spending millions on application fee and dreaming of a life in Europe. And now, it suddenly feels like the door is slammed in their faces. We get it. And that's why we thought we should do some deep findings to give you the absolute best information based on our research. And guess what? This knowledge actually applies to all visa type across West Africa. Did I shock you? Even though this video will tilt more slightly towards the student visa category, this structural shift affects everyone. Welcome to our channel. If you are just seeing us for the very first time, we are the Fadojitimi family. And if you are a subscriber on this channel, welcome back. Thank you for always coming back. To introduce ourselves, we are a Nigerian family living in Portugal. And on this channel, we share our experience. Before we get deep into the policy updates, we would like for you to meet us. Welcome back. Okay, so today we are stripping away the anxiety and breaking down the massive 2026 official policy shift happening at AIMA and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We are also going to be giving you our tips on how you can survive this extreme bottleneck to still achieve your relocation goals. So here's the truth we found. Portugal has not issued a political ban on West Africa or Nigeria specifically. The visa part isn't dead, it is just temporarily blocked as a result of an absolute unprecedented operational bottleneck. It is simply an illusion of a closure, and by the end of this video, you will understand exactly what is going on and how you can beat the crowd. Let's dive into the real data. To understand why the system feels completely broken right now, we have to look at two separate organizations that are in control. The rules completely changed in 2026, and if you are using an old handbook or outdated guide from 2024 or 2025 for your visa processing, your application is going to literally be dead on arrival. First, let's talk about AIMA in Portugal, the Agency for Integration, Migration and Asylum. AIMA is the Portuguese government entity responsible for immigration, residency and asylum seekers. In 2026, this body moved to massively modernize the entire immigration system by shifting it into a digital-first framework because they want to aggressively clear out their existing files. To do that, AIMA implemented a brand new zero-tolerance rule called the Strictly Complete Submission Only mandate. We will break down exactly why this specific policy change caused the embassy to hit a pause button in just a few minutes. The second giant is VFS Global handling ops in West Africa. VFS is simply the administrative middleman. They don't make the visa decisions. They just collect physical documents, scan your biometrics, and ship the files to the embassy officers. Because of the massive explosion of applications coming out of West Africa over the last 2 years, VFS digital servers became an absolute war zone. Third-party agents and automated tech bots started aggressively hovering up every single appointment slot the milliseconds they open up, creating a massive black market where desperate families were being charged millions of naira just to secure a calendar date. To fight this abuse, VFS and the embassy implemented a major lockdown, and this is exactly where the illusion of a closure takes place. When an ordinary person logs into the VFS portal booking page from Lagos or Abuja day after day and sees nothing but a blank calendar or a no slot available screen, it's natural to think that there is no date available anytime soon. But in fact, the portals are heavily logged to prevent those automated bot scrappers from stealing the slots. Because of this, if you are browsing with a VPN on, the website may instantly block you. To make things fairer, they now release random dates at completely unpredictable times. Throttling the portal like this also helps the embassy to catch up on the massive bulk of paperwork they have piled up on their desk. Now, let's talk about the reality of living and studying here in Portugal and why the embassy was forced to pause. It all comes back to the AIMA strictly complete submission mandate. In our recent Q&A video, we talked about our own process and explained that Portugal grants visa once your documents are complete. That is very true, and in fact, they used to give a very generous grace period when we applied back in 2023, 2024, and even 2025, allowing you to resubmit or email missing documents if your initial file was incomplete. That means if you went for your VFS appointment and you were missing a small document, let's say an updated bank statement or a certified paper, the immigration officer would let you submit your file anyway, and you could bring or send the missing document later while your visa is actively processing. But now, not anymore. Under the current 2026 AIMA rules, if a file arrives from VFS to the embassy and even one thing is missing, for exaggeration's sake, let's just say a signature, it is automatically rejected without review. This means no more second chances, because embassy officers now have to manually sit down and audit every single page, every single signature, and every single financial entry up front to save applicants from automatic rejection. Because of this, their processing time have slowed down to an absolute crawl, and yet they are sitting on a massive mountain of backlogs from previous intake seasons. So, if they kept releasing hundreds of new slots every week, it would literally take years for you to get your passport back after submission. So, the halt on submission is just a temporary operational pause to sort through the already existing backlogs. If you are a family member on this channel, please pay close attention so you can be completely prepared for when those slots reopen, or if you manage to secure an appointment by grace. You need to watch our Q&A video to understand what I mean by that. If you get an appointment, your documentation has to be completely bulletproof. To prevent casual and incomplete application, they have completely elevated the scrutiny route. Through our research, we found some silent application killers that are causing automatic rejection right now that nobody on YouTube tells you about. Number 1 is the full tuition requirement. In previous years, you could head to your appointment with an unconditional university acceptance letter and a tiny commitment deposit receipt. In 2026, that is a fast track to rejection. AIMA and the consular offices are now asking for a verifiable bank receipt showing that you have paid either your first full semester or even your entire first academic year's tuition upfront. If you show up with just an admission letter and no actual proof of tuition payment to the school, your application will be marked incomplete and thrown out. Number 2 is the legalization stamp. You can't just print out your local university transcript, degree certificate, or sponsorship declarations and hand them over at VFS. Every single official document must be legally authenticated and stamped by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in your home country, like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja, before it reaches the VFS desk. Unstamped local documents are treated as unverified, leading to an immediate shutdown of your file. Number 3 is the 2026 financial benchmark and sponsorship scrutiny. This is the biggest trap of all. Portugal's visa benchmarks are often tied to the national minimum wage, which is at 920 euros per month for 2026. This means for a student's visa, you need to show a baseline of at least that minimum wage multiplied by 12. But it's no longer about just having that number sitting in your account. The consular officers are now manually auditing bank statements line by line. It is that serious. They are specifically looking to eliminate lump sum deposits. So, if you decide to go and do a quick GoFundMe and deposit a lump sum in your account at once before you print out your statement, if they see an unexplained massive deposit without a clear pattern in your previous transaction history to explain it, it is flagged as an artificial financial subsistence. Also, for those who rely on sponsorship, if you are using a third-party sponsor, your sponsor must prove a direct legal or familial connection, provide their official tax clearance certificate from previous year, and show that their personal income is at least 3 times of the Portuguese minimum wage to prove that they can genuinely support you during your course of study. So, let's bring it all together. What's the survival blueprint for you right now? Stop scrolling through those panic threads because the door isn't locked forever. The hallway is just crowded. Second, utilize your waiting period wisely. If you can't find a VFS slot today, don't sit around stressing. Use this exact time to ensure your documentation is entirely flawless. Regularly check the VFS portal and your Ministry of Foreign Affairs portal for the most updated and complete guide on all documentation you need. Third, when you are logging into the VFS portal, turn off the VPNs on all your devices so that you don't trigger those strict regional IP locks. And be ready to jump on slots at completely random intervals, including midnight safe. And remember, as we shared in our family Q&A video, if the standard front door is jammed, look into alternative legal avenue politely. Politely. The journey from West Africa to Western Europe is an incredible transition, but it requires patience, strategy, and absolute respect for official rules. Don't let the temporary illusion of a closure stop you from building your dreams. If this deep dive helped you clear your confusion and gave you a real game plan, hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and drop a comment below letting us know how this information has helped you. We love you guys and we can't wait to welcome you to Portugal. We will see you in our next video. Bye!
Turn it up, don't turn it off. Turn me round, put me in my place. From there, I can see it all, so beautiful. The world is turning fast. Got too many plans, but your eyes found mine, and I said, there's a record spinning in my mind, with scratches on the B-side. You're a record spinning in my mind. And drop the needle down and dance me to the other side. And from there we can fly into the 80s, Brooklyn to LA. Our hands in the air, our hands in the air. There's a record spinning in my mind, with scratches on the B-side. You're a record spinning in my mind. Bye-bye.